Hello, Aries. This is your love and relationship reading for August 2018. I'm going to shuffle, and then I'll cut the cards. Your first card is the Star reversed. This is a Page of Wands. I have a Three of Cups. I have a Knight of Pentacles. This is a Six of Cups. Six of Swords. A Page of Swords reversed. I have a Two of Swords. All these swords are starting to show up, heading into your future. And then this is a King of Cups. Very interesting. Lots of cups and swords here, especially with this star in reverse. It's very watery here. This is about hope and optimism, maybe. Recently, in the recent past, Aries, some of you have not been feeling very optimistic. So you do have the Three of Cups, Six of Cups, King of Cups, Six of Swords, Two of Swords, and Page of Swords. And you have a Pentacle here. And some Wands, a Page of Wands. So overall, I'm looking at this clash. Maybe it's not a clash. It's a clash. I was thinking, well, we have cups and swords. What does that mean? I don't think this necessarily means a clash as far as the relationship reading or some of the relationships some of you Aries people are dealing with. What I'm seeing here is that maybe some of you might actually be dealing with a lot of anxiety about love because swords represents the psychological aspects of our existence. They represent the power of the mind, the way we perceive reality, the way we make decisions. And so I see a little bit of some turbulence here as far as relationships when I see these cups interspersed with the swords. You'll have to excuse me for a minute. I had to step away. But I think that Page of Wands is very significant. And I think that what this past energy is telling me is this opportunity or new perspective that's opening up your love life a little bit. It also kind of tells me that some of you Aries are trying to work on your relationships, who are trying to be pushed forward with the relationships. But I kind of see it as a good shift. Maybe you, a few months ago or a few weeks ago, were kind of still in a slump, and I think I mentioned that in the previous reading, that some of you Aries people have been dealing with a slump and you're trying to get back on your feet. So, of course, I'm kind of seeing a new opportunity with friendship because the Three of Cups is about friendship. Sometimes it can mean a celebration, like a celebration of an engagement. So if you're still pulling out of this slump, that's how I'm interpreting this star here. That some of you Aries, even if you did have a breakup, or maybe you didn't break up, maybe you haven't had reason to really feel optimistic. I kind of feel this shift to where you see this little boy waving at the goddesses here, like, hey, good to see you. Some of you might be in one of those friends with benefits types of situations here. The Three of Cups is not as serious for me as a Two of Cups. So I'm kind of just seeing this like, hey, I'm seeing a good friend here. And it might give you a little bit of hope, and it might give you a little bit of optimism. So I'm kind of even an ex-boyfriend or ex-girlfriend. So it's very interesting how these first three cards play out. So when we head here, heading further on into August, these two sixes here, sixes are about healing and harmony and balance. And you have this Knight of Pentacles riding straight towards it. Now, the Knight of Pentacles doesn't necessarily have to represent a particular person. But remember that Pentacles are slow. And the Knight is about change. It's about action. So there might be a very slow action here for some of you with this friendship. Especially if with these two sixes, healing, harmony, and balance, repairing a relationship, you have that Six of Cups, which, as some of you who are like real tarot aficionados here in a relationship reading, yes, this could mean someone from the past. And over the years, I've come to see this card as dealing with ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend issues. Sometimes, you know, they're in and out of your life. You still think about them. Sometimes I see this card as someone's missing you. You know, you're thinking, should we get back together? Should we not get back together? That type of thing. So my interpretation of this card isn't necessarily someone coming back. It can also mean for me, someone who still has feelings for the relationship, either you or the significant love interest. So when we get here to the Six of Swords, which I've said in the July readings is probably my favorite card because it has all the elements in it. And it has the wand, the swords, it has earth, the wood that the boat is made out of, traveling over water. This is a good card because it means progress, it means traveling. It can mean physical travel over water, but it also means healing and moving forward. So lots of interesting things going on. You have the Page of Wands, the young boy holding the wand, and then the wand is being used to make progress and resolve issues. And after this is when we head into your future. Yes, of course, this is when all the swords start showing up. When you have a Page of Swords reversed, it can actually mean an argument. In more extreme interpretations, the Page of Swords is about fighting, an argument, someone who's lying, not telling the truth. So yeah, there might be a little bit of a disagreement or a conversation with this love interest that didn't go as well. And so this brings us to a Two of Swords here. Two of Swords meaning indecision. It's about, you know, being confused sometimes. It can also mean two people who aren't getting along, and that definitely makes sense when you look at this Page of Swords reversed. I'm like, well, I think that maybe some of you Aries with your partners might not be getting along or agreeing on an important thing. And this could also have a lot to do with this King of Cups And once again, it's not necessarily about a particular person, but a disagreement about the direction of the relationship and how you're going to resolve those issues. So I am going to shuffle for that outcome card. You have a King of Wands. Now that is very exciting. So near the end of your spread, I think this is very intriguing. King of Wands with a King of Cups. Now I will say that in the Wiccan tarot deck that I'm using here, the King of Wands is associated with Leo, but it's still fire. And it's interesting how the power of Wands sort of comes out here. I'm kind of feeling you coming out on top in this situation, that if some of you are getting back together with an old partner or love interest, there's going to be some difficulty with reconciliation, resolving past issues. But I feel you're going to come out on top. So Aries, that was your reading. As usual, I thank you all for your support and everyone who's become a new Patreon sponsor for my tarot readings. And if you'd like to be a sponsor, you only have to commit to $1 a month, or you can just make a one-time donation. Okay? So thank you so much. And if you are a Patreon sponsor, you're getting this reading 3 weeks early. Okay. So thank you so much. I hope you're having a wonderful summer. And as always, I wish you love and light.